Thank you everyone for being here. Good afternoon. Um, we're going to talk about e-commerce today, how to set up a successful e-commerce business for brick and mortar jewelry stores. We do these webinars once a month. We do other webinars as well, but this one is specifically for Edge customers, the first Thursday of every month. So you can check out our webinar schedule on our website and under webinars, and we've got a lot planned in the future, and some with some of our other partners like Client Book and Podium and others, and AGS as well. We do these because, especially for Edge customers, we integrate Edge with Shopify stores and other website platforms, and we really like to give education and guidance to jewelry stores based on what we've learned over the years. I've been doing this for over 16 years and have done a lot of successful e-commerce businesses, as well as lead generation types of digital marketing solutions. We are a digital marketing agency, so we can help a lot of that stuff, but we at least like to be a educational resource for you at the very least. So I'll go ahead and jump in here. We're gonna just kind of do like a little introduction to e-commerce for jewelry stores. What does that mean? Building an online identity. We'll talk about website options, digital marketing strategies, customer engagement and retention, and then we're going to talk about analyzing and optimizing performance. I'm Anthony Arechiga, VP of Sales and Marketing. Again, I've been with GemFind for over 16 years, and before that was doing web design and digital marketing, but been a long time working with jewelers, and I've probably helped thousands over the years with providing some great solutions for jewelry stores. GemFind has been around for actually over almost 25 years now. Alex founded this business, and we help in all things digital marketing, web design. We're a Shopify partner. Again, we're an Edge partner as well, so we do a lot of Edge integrations. We also have a lot of apps like a ring builder, a diamond search, Jewel Cloud, different apps that we usually add onto websites to make them more engaging. And then we do full service digital marketing, everything from your standard search engine marketing, PPC, SEO, to social media and email marketing, all kinds of different things, even email automation and kind of more advanced digital marketing as well. Some of our team at one of the trade shows, just a couple of our team members there. So we're going to talk about, again, what does e-commerce business mean for jewelry stores. So a couple just stats. Revenue in the jewelry segment is expected to reach 55 billion this year, after a slight dip in growth in 2022. The United States fine jewelry market is expected to see continued and steady growth through at least 2026. 8.9% growth projected in 2023, 11% growth projected through 2024. By the year 2040, as much as 95% of shopping will be facilitated by e-commerce. And we saw kind of the exponential growth, especially during COVID and stuff like that. It's just become even more rapid, where almost every purchase is somehow facilitated by e-commerce, or at least doing research online nowadays. So online sales are really driving growth of the jewelry space right now. It's really fueling the industry-wide growth. In 2022, the online jewelry market set a record growth rate of 14.9% year over year, and is projected to account for over 25% of overall sales. So the e-commerce is obviously so important today, and there's been a lot of direct-to-consumer brands coming into the marketplace. So that's a big part of it. But the benefit of having a brick and mortar jewelry store is, in your market, you could be that, the most competitive jewelry store, even online, because you have that unique thing, which is the social proof. You've got years and years of experience, as opposed to these brand new businesses coming out today, direct to consumer, where they're really trying to build their brand identity and their social proof and all these things. But you guys have already established that over typically a long period of time. The revenue share is only expected to grow leaps and bounds, reaching over 40% of revenue share by 2025, up from under 10% of overall sales in 2017. So that's a huge, having e-commerce be 40% of revenue. That's crazy. So some of the benefits of taking your jewelry business online: obviously a wider audience reach. You can reach people globally or nationwide potentially. And I would say if you're brand new to e-commerce, start with more regional, because you're going to have kind of probably more trust regionally, unless you have some kind of product that is just universal, your own type of product offering or something. Um, Convenience, obviously, you want to make it as convenient as possible for people to shop with you and reduce any friction in the buying process. So having a good e-commerce, business is going to help facilitate that. Lower operational costs. Um, in terms of the e-commerce side of business, if you were just, e-commerce, you're going to have lower operational costs, but it can be costly. Just you got to make sure that you plan it out properly, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Easy to showcase your products. It's the online platform allows you to display your entire collection, including descriptions, prices, high quality photos. So the comprehensive display can be more challenging in a physical store due to space constraints, but you can have 10,000 products on your website if it makes sense for you. Uh, Data collection and analytics, it's huge because you can see like what people are clicking on, how they got to your website. It's hard to know that information in store, like what did they, how did they find you, other than just asking. But with a digital, you can track like every aspect of their buyer's journey if you're using CRM and you're using analytics and stuff like that. So, and then a personalized shopping experience. With online tools and algorithms, you can offer personalized product recommendations based on a customer's browsing and purchase history. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but things like shopping campaigns on Google, you can find in-market audiences, people that are actively shopping for jewelry, and jewelry that is similar to yours. You can use lookalike audiences on Facebook. You can also use email automation to give your website visitors similar product options. So a lot of different ways that you can personalize the shopping experience. The number one most important reason why it makes sense to take your jewelry business online is the competitive edge. So as I was kind of explaining or alluding to, as consumers increasingly look online for shopping, having an e-commerce presence ensures jewelers remain competitive against online-only retailers. Since you're not online only, you have a brick and mortar jewelry store, you kind of have that edge over them because, again, you have this long history. Some jewelers, 30 years, some jewelers over 100 years. And that's something that these e-commerce brands can't buy. So but a lot of these e-commerce brands have their digital marketing really dialed in, their brand identity, their brand story, their unique selling propositions. They've done a lot of extra work, and so if we can just reciprocate that with the jewelry stores can be very successful. So that's where we'll talk about today or right now is building an online identity. So when it comes to brand storytelling, it's really important to differentiate yourself. The e-commerce space is really saturated. And, at first glance, jewelry businesses offer products that kind of seem similar. So a compelling brand story helps set a business apart from its competitors, making it memorable and unique. And so when you, have a good brand story, a lot of, and you really kind of distill that and dial it in. People, especially like the millennial shoppers, they're really like looking to buy from a store that it kind of aligns with their values. And so if you have a good story and it resonates with your audience, then they're gonna potentially buy from you over someone else. So as long as you really distill that. It also, doing brand storytelling builds trust. Purchasing jewelry, especially high-end pieces, is a significant investment. So a well-articulated brand story can establish credibility, showcasing the brand's commitment to quality, craftsmanship, and customer satisfaction. It also helps with positioning. You can really position yourself in the particular niche. So the clear positioning helps in attracting a specific target audience and establishing the brand's identity. And I'm going to show some examples of like kind of what I mean by some of these things here in just a minute. So also cultural and social relevance. Brands can, use stories to align themselves with broader cultural movements or social causes. Like I'd mentioned, a lot of the younger generation is really into finding a company that aligns with their values. So, if you have your story, written very well, and you know who you are, and you are able to disseminate that through your social media posts and your email strategy and your website, then you're going to typically have a much better success. It also helps with loyalty and retention, and then obviously, content creation. So when you have your brand story, you're able to now create the content in a way that is like consistent with all of your channels, like your email channel, your blogs, your social media, videos, etc. So I'm gonna and oh yeah, I'll jump in right after this. So it's really important if you haven't done much with your brand elements like logos and your typography, stuff like that, or have a brand book. I think if you really want to take e-commerce seriously, like it's important to work through all those things. So potential clients are attracted to brands that have meaningful, modern, and emotive brand identities. Not only does strong branding increase brand recognition and loyalty, increases the perceived value of a brand. Also, a strong and consistent brand identity has been shown to increase revenue by 33%. So if you don't really have these things dialed in, it could be affecting your overall business. So I'm gonna jump out of these slides because I'm gonna jump into a couple other things here. But this is an example of a brand book that we put together for a jewelry business. So we distill a mission statement, a brand voice, brand values, who their buyer persona is. We kind of go over create a visual identity, what their color palettes, logo usage, typography, some mood boards and photography guidelines. Because once you understand who you are and you distill that, then again you could give this to your photographer, and they'll know what kind of content to shoot, so it matches with your brand identity and you have a strong brand representation. If you're gonna have a content writer create content for you, you can give this to that content writer to make sure that they're writing things within your voice that's going to resonate with your ideal customers. This is an example of like what we would do with a brand voice, what the brand values are. And for this specific business, they wanted to talk about integrity and transparency, sustainability, inclusivity, originality, and customer service. And then once we understand all of those things, then we create buyer personas. And so who is their ideal customer? What do they look like? What is their age group? What are their hobbies? What are their income levels? And then again, when you understand that buyer persona, now you know how to speak to this potential customer. So this is all worked out through looking at who has purchased from you in the past and who might be your potential customers in the future. You create different buyer personas, then you can create content specific to those buyer personas that match your brand identity. Visual identity, like I said, we want to go over color palettes, logo usage, using it on different color backgrounds, and stuff like that. So again, these are things you can give to your web developer, your again, your photographer, your content creators, your email strategists, and then you can really, again, uh, have a good representation of your brand, and you're going to have a lot better conversion rate if you start doing these types of things. So just giving you all the tips that I've seen work in my experience, if you really want to have a successful e-commerce business. So I'm going to jump back into these slides, and I have a couple others that I'm going to share with you in just a minute about. So I'm going to jump back in and out. So website development, if you don't have a website yet and you're wanting to explore different website options, these are some of the most common platforms. I would say BigCommerce is getting popular too, but Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, and then there's also your proprietary platforms that are like more industry specific. Based on our research, and we've been doing this over for 16 years. We've tried all these different platforms. Really, long story short, is Shopify is really the best platform in our experience for jewelry stores specifically, unless you're doing something fully custom and building it from the ground floor. But usually you have to basically reinvent the wheel with other platforms to make it more like Shopify. So, and the reason why I believe Shopify is the best platform for jewelers today is because it allows you to do the types of digital marketing a lot easier, a lot more seamlessly. You don't like if you're using a digital marketing agency or in-house, you can tap into all these different resources like Klaviyo for email marketing and automation. It's integrated really closely with Shopify. Facebook came to Shopify to beta test direct selling on Instagram. And so these big conglomerates are going to Shopify because they have 4 million websites built on Shopify. So it's a more of a larger community, and they keep improving the platform with speed, with the latest Google updates. Google just made a core update a couple weeks ago affecting SEO. So they typically are going to have the best way to do digital marketing in order to compete with these big e-commerce sellers. Doing shopping feeds on Facebook, doing shopping feeds on Google. So long story short, really Shopify is the best platform today, in our opinion. And this is not just, an opinion that we just, are really biased about it. We're pretty unbiased. We're kind of agnostic when it comes to platforms, but we've just been doing this for so long, and we've developed on Magento. You can ask some of our past customers, and on WordPress, even a proprietary platform. So, Shopify is probably going to help jewelers really scale their business in today's day and age more than any other platform. So, and open source platforms, some of our clients are, that we do digital marketing for, are still on some of those platforms, but really the small businesses that, and there's like a lot of different carbon copies of different like proprietary platform solution providers, but small businesses can't really keep up with these big community platforms like Shopify. Technology advances faster than the proprietary platforms can adapt. With Shopify has over 1 million merchants, like I said, so which means more leverage and more buying power. So as long as you can work with an agency or a partner that knows the space, that can bridge the gap between the jewelry space and these big platforms, that, or also you can tap into different apps and things like we've built, and there's others, not just ones that we built. A lot of Shopify apps out there that can help make your website more jewelry oriented, with like a diamond search and ring builders and all these other types of tools, product feeds and stuff like that. So a couple important features for jewelry websites is, having high quality imagery, 360-degree views, and detailed product descriptions. That's really, really important if you want to compete with e-commerce. Like, spend really a lot of effort on that. And we'll talk about some photography stuff in just a minute. Good product filtering. So you want people to be able to get to the products that they're looking for as simply as possible. Like, again, reduce friction in the buying process. Testimonials to boost consumer confidence. Featured press for social proof. This is one thing that I haven't been seeing a lot with just brick and mortar jewelry stores, but a lot of jewelry stores, they're featured in different press, like in store, America's Coolest Stores, but it might not be featured on your website. You get covered by local press. Feature that on your homepage, so like it will increase consumer confidence and increase your conversion rate if you're putting those things front and center. Also, online financing and installment options are a must today. And I'm just going to jump out again real quick. I'm going to give like these are the e-commerce like must-haves if you really want to have success. And we're probably going to dig more into each one of these things, but we want to talk about financing and installments, incentives, social proof, and selling tactics. So financing and installments, we want to make sure you add a firm as a financing option because that will increase your conversion rate and average order value. Shop pay. So if you have Shopify, Shop Pay is a partnership with a firm to allow for payment installments. So you split it up over 4 payments. And that really helps a lot with someone that, hey, like, I want to buy this piece, but I need to split it up over, a couple of months. So those installments help out a lot rather than doing a long financing thing with a firm. Klarna and Afterpay as third-party installment options. Everyone, like a lot of consumers, they use different apps. So if you can give them all the options, then you're going to have a lot better ability to convert those customers that use some of these apps for installments. PayPal credit as another financing option. It's becoming more and more popular because PayPal has pay in 4. They also have online financing. And so this allows consumers with any of these financing options. It's not like, I know a lot of our jewelers use Wells Fargo or Synchrony or whatever it is. But this allows you to actually check out online with the financing. You don't have to go and get approved and then, go and purchase it in store or whatever. It's like a seamless, approval process, and you can check out with that financing option. So, and also incentives. So, if you can show the original price and discounted price on items that might be lower cost or price points, those are good to promote, especially through social media. Anything that's like lower price point, if you want to try to sell to your social media followers, the good thing about offering some discounted prices or clearance items is that if somebody purchased from you once, they're 5 times more likely to purchase from you again. So if you can just get like an entry level type of product purchase, they get into your email funnel, they get it, they're saved into your CRM most likely, and then you can do more customer development over time and nurture those customers. So that's why getting sales, even if it's a lower price point at first, can be so valuable to you because the lifetime value of your customers can be really big with jewelry. If you're selling them something like a self-purchase and then then they buy an engagement ring and then they or gift items and stuff like that. So offer like free shipping, adding a sales section on the website, and then giving them a welcome offer for the first purchase, like 10% off or $100 towards a purchase of $1,000 or more, whatever it is. You want to build your email list because if you do and you have the right email solution, which we'll talk about here more deeply here in just a minute, is you can send emails specifically to the that are specific to the people that are visiting your website and specific to the products that they're clicking on. And so that's where email automation and nurturing come into effect. That is going to improve and build your e-commerce business because the more people you get into your email funnel, then the more you can nurture them and the more sales you'll get ultimately. So it's really important to build your email list. Social proof, like I'd mentioned, you want to show your reviews on your website, but social media followers, I think that's a really important piece of social proof. And not just followers, but I would also say engagement. So if you want to compete and you want to have a successful e-commerce business, you want to have a good amount of followers, but it's also important to really focus on quality content on your social media channels and engaging your audience, which again, another thing that we'll talk about in a minute and give some examples of. But that will help with what you call social proof. If they go to your, typically if they go to your website, they're gonna go follow you on social media. If nothing's really happening on social media, they're gonna be like, well, is this company even really relevant? So your conversion rate will be a lot lower, surprisingly. Like, some people think, oh, I'm just gonna focus on Google ads and SEO, but I'm not gonna do anything with my social media. That's, you really got to do everything today if you want to. You've got to do everything well if you want to have true success. You can also get featured in publications like Fox and NBC, etc. There's a tool called Brand Featured. There's others as well where you can get featured in press. So if you haven't been featured in press, you can. These companies will actually write like a press release for you, say like about your history or something, that a new line that you got, and they'll feature those on those websites, and then you can put those logos on your website saying as seen in Harper's Bazaar, or whatever it is, NBC, etc. Um, uh, if you want to take your e-commerce business, extra serious, grow a Trustpilot account, but that's typically related to once you start getting sales, then you want to grow that Trustpilot account, which is another thing that helps with consumer confidence. For now, I think most brick and mortar jewelers are focusing on Google reviews, which is great. Just feature those on your website very prominently as well. If you have Shopify, there's apps that will just feed in your Google reviews for like $5 a month. And you can put them on your product pages. You can put them on you can have a badge in your lower left corner of your screen. But you also, when you get Google reviews, if you don't have a lot, you really need a minimum of 30 reviews. That's a tipping point for people to really, think about whether you're valid or not, or these 5 stars that you have are valid. So, and if you're in a local market, you should have more Google reviews than your competitors. So really important thing to focus on. Finally, we want to promote items under $1,000 collections on Google and Facebook. So like I said, promoting those lower priced items. Share with GemFind, if you're working with us, or your marketing agency, the top selling items at your store, so those could be promoted. And utilize flash sales and holiday sales. That usually helps increase the frequency of your orders, and then also build your list in a short period of time. Adding a phone number, obviously, or live chat will help increase the conversion rate. Finally, utilize email automation to nurture customers, and then email to support your flash sales and promotions. So those are really important things for your e-commerce business. And if anyone wants a copy of this, or the brand book, or I'm also going to go over some social media tools. We have separate PDFs and stuff for all of these. I can email those over to you, or even a copy of these slides. So I'm going to just go through a couple more things, and try not to take up your whole day here, but there's so much information related to e-commerce that if you're not doing it all, then it's going to be tough to have a success. Even with digital marketing in general, it really needs to be holistic to have true success. You can have some wins here and there if you're not fully dialed in, if you're not focused on every component, but it's still going to suffer in some way. So you really want to have a holistic digital marketing strategy. A couple other things related to, oh, sorry, I'm getting a question. And you could feel free to type in questions throughout this. Oh, somebody was just asking for the PDFs. Okay, sure, I'll be happy to share that with you. I'll also share my email address here in just a minute as well, so you can always email me, but I'll take note of that and email you that, Kim. Feel free to type in any questions on the Q&A, and I'd be happy to answer them throughout the rest of the webinar. A couple of things related to, okay, Christine asked, yes, for sure. Okay, a couple other things related to user experience and UI is you want to make sure that the site loads quickly. Slow page load times can increase your cart abandonment rate by 75%. It also can increase, it could mess up your SEO as well. So Google looks at your load times now and page experience. So you also should be creating landing pages for different collections. It's important to have a page that is topical to what people are searching for. And the best way to do that is typically having a landing page. If you'd like, I can give you more examples of that. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to jump into landing pages, but Stephanie asked about the slides, of course. Yes. And I'd be happy to do a consultation for you, or go a lot more details if you like. I'm going to again present my email address here at the end. Another thing, you want to have calls to action peppered throughout the page to give people the direction on where they should be going on your website. I see a lot of websites that just have banners with no call to action. Like, what am I supposed to do with this like advertisement? Am I supposed to click on it? Is it just an advertisement? It should say click here to shop, or click here to schedule an appointment, or visit us in store and have a link to your contact page, or whatever it is. So calls to action are really important to have on all over your website. Optimal mobile experience. Nowadays, it's kind of a no-brainer. Utilize a no distraction checkout process. So optimizing the checkout process through user testing and other means, it can increase conversion rates by 35%. And what I mean by that is, like, on Shopify, for example, they once you get to the checkout process, the header and footer of the website get removed, and so people just focus on completing their purchase. So if you don't have Shopify, see if you can get that to work with whatever platform you're using. As far as product photography, I just recommend investing in good equipment. The easiest thing that most of our clients do is get the Gem Lightbox. But for social media, I would say start with a smartphone, because you don't really need a fancy camera to take great photos for social media. There's better smartphones. Obviously the newer iPhones and the Google Pixel take great photos, so I'd recommend one of those phones if you're going to use your phone. But your smartphone can work just fine as long as you know how to use it, and I'll show some examples of that here in just a minute. Understanding lighting is really important. It's really probably the most important aspect of photography. So make sure you're taking your photos in a well-lit area, or use natural light if possible. Avoid harsh shadows or overly bright light. Focus on composition. Composition is really just about arranging the elements in your photo in a visually appealing way. I'm not very good at this, but my wife's always making fun of me because my pictures are all like, someone's in the corner of the picture or something. But try the rule of thirds. Divide your frame into thirds horizontally and vertically, and place your subject at the intersection of these lines. And then pay attention to backgrounds as well. And again, I'll give some more photography and tips of exact social media posts here in just a minute. That Rachel Hanna, she's a former director of digital marketing for Rolex. She's on our team, and she put together these social media guidelines that I'll share with you in just a minute. As far as SEO is concerned, a lot of us know how important it is. Some people thought it was outdated, but really it's probably one of the most important aspects of your website and digital marketing strategy, because when people are typing in a keyword, they're showing that they have intent, they're showing they have interest in the product or service that they're searching for. So it typically converts higher than other forms of digital marketing. So if you can get people to your website and you have a page that's relevant to what they were searching for, then you can get them into your funnel by, again, offering them email incentives, and then also using retargeting, stuff like that, to get them to potentially become a customer. So but 68% of online experiences begin with the search engine, because people are going to research first. 53% of all website traffic comes from organic search, and SEO drives 1,000% more traffic than organic social media. So social media is great, but not a lot of people are actually clicking on your posts to go to your website, or clicking on your link in bio. Not nearly as much as SEO, because someone is typing that in now, trying to find information. So So 0.63% of Google searchers click on results from the second page. So that just means you got to get to the top. You got to be prominent. Importance of local SEO for physical stores, like super important, because when somebody's searching for a jewelry store locally, you should show up, on the top if you really want to get that customer. So SEO best practices, first step is research the most search terms in your market or wherever you want to, if it's locally or regionally, globally, you got to do keyword research first and foremost. And then once you understand which keywords, you want to optimize for one keyword per page instead of stuffing multiple on each page. So what we see, especially in the past, and stores that we don't help with, they have like 5 different keywords on their homepage, and that's the extent of their SEO. But really what Google's looking for today is a dedicated page for every single topic. So, engagement rings should have its own page, wedding rings should have its own page, lab grown diamonds or mine diamonds, they all should have their own pages, because somebody's searching for that keyword specifically. And if they just land on a page that talks about everything, you're gonna have a high bounce rate. So the Google algorithm items that are recently updated in the past year is page experience, which includes page relevance. Again, relevant pages according to what people are typing in, site speed, mobile experience. The other thing you need to focus on is domain authority. That means how much of an authority are you on the topics you're telling Google to rank you on. So you do that by having a lot of websites linking back to your website. So SEO can get really detailed and technical. So I'm not going to go through every little thing, but you want to make sure you're following all SEO best practices, incorporating product schema, which is the right coding practices for products. So products should appear like products on search results. So there's, really important to just follow a lot of these things, but I'm not going to go through every little thing because I want to bore you to death with all these technical things. But, if you really want to know the proper structure for landing page optimization, you want to have your optimized title tag, meta description, URL, etc. Again, I'll give you copies of this presentation if you like. You can put your email in the Q&A if you like, and I'll make sure to include you in that list as well. You also want to optimize your collections on your page and optimize products. So collections mean like your product collections. You can actually add text to them, especially on Shopify. You can probably code it into other platforms, but you can add keyword-rich content on the pages. And when you do that, your collections will rank a lot higher. So say like that one, for example, was Halo engagement rings in Chicago, optimized for that specifically on that collection page, and they're #1 for Halo engagement rings in Chicago. So you also want to optimize your products. Every way that you optimize your pages, products, or collections, you want to follow the same structure. You want to optimize your URL, your title tag, your H1, your meta description, H2, etc. So you want to follow that same structure. So we'll talk a little bit about PPC, or Google Ads. 65% of people click on ads when making purchases. Google Ads deliver an 8-to-1 return on investment on average. So the average conversion rate on Google Ads is 7%. Google Ads and also Bing ads can be so Bing is not as popular, but for some reason the older generation uses Bing, and there's more disposable income on Bing, so sometimes it's overlooked for some of our clients. But if you live in an area that has an older demographic, Bing ads could work very well. And then display is like banner ads. Search is where you're going to get probably more traffic, relevant traffic that converts higher because people are typing in a keyword. Display, again, just means like a graphic banner. And then also incorporating retargeting campaigns is really important, because if somebody goes to your website and they click on a product, you can show those same products to them as they browse the internet, and that's what's going to help you create what your marketing automation funnel. So a couple of PPC best practices: utilize landing pages similar to SEO, because in our experience, a lot of agencies, they just or even jewelry stores, send traffic to their homepage, or they'll send traffic to a collection page that's not optimized. So you're getting what you call a low quality score of your Google Ads campaigns because you don't have a relevant page and it's not relevant to the ad that's running. So when you have dedicated pages, whether that's a landing page or a collection page that is optimized properly, you're going to have a lot better success. You're going to have a higher search impression share. And so ultimately, you'll take up more market share, even if you spend less than your competitors. So you really want to do everything properly if you want to get the best, the best results. So another thing that a lot of jewelers aren't doing is Google Shopping campaigns. This could be very valuable for jewelry stores, is feeding your products into Google. So like that's what shows on the right side of this, these product ads. You can also show these products to people that are in what you call in-market audiences, people that are actively shopping for jewelry on other websites. So you can find relevant shoppers shopping for jewelry and showing them your merchandise. So that can actually help increase your e-commerce transactions significantly, especially when you incorporate the retargeting as well once you have your shopping campaign set up. We'll talk about social media paid ads. So some of the most effective ways to use paid ads on social media is, again, retargeting. So you can feed your products into Facebook and Instagram or Meta. And when you do that, you can also have dynamic retargeting ads. And you've probably seen this if you're shopping on an e-commerce site and you leave the site and then you go log into your Instagram or Facebook and you're seeing those same exact products show up because they're and that's called dynamic ads or dynamic retargeting. And you want to do that same type of thing because that's how you create your funnel. And then when you have those people that are being retargeted, and so that would be like a custom audience that you're using on Meta, you can create then a lookalike audience. Those are people with similar buying patterns and browsing patterns as those people that came from that list of website visitors. So this is how you use social media in the most effective way. And then also, like I mentioned before, promote items under $1,000 on Facebook and Instagram. Use different content for each platform, lookalike audiences. You can also use your email list to target people on Facebook ads. And that's also an effective way to use social media ads. Let me see if there's a couple questions. Okay. Everyone's looking for the presentation. Sure, no problem. Okay. Social media marketing. So 50% of all new brand and product discovery is now done on social media. So, even though search engine marketing is extremely effective, it doesn't take away the importance of social media as part of your overall digital marketing strategy. 48% of social media users have bought something after seeing an advertisement. 68% of consumers have purchased directly from social media, including myself. So really important. So some of the best practices with social media is, post with purpose and provide value, provide unique content, engage with your audience, show your personality, be consistent with your posting. Some points to consider is consumers are not turning to social media to be marketed to. So it's not all about just, posting promotions. And, a lot of times we'll just see like someone reposting something from one of their brands, and that's all it is. It's just brand oriented stuff. So it just looks like a sales piece or an ad every single time they post, but that's not what consumers are engaging with. And so if you continue that just only posting that kind of stuff, it's okay to do it every once in a while, but if you're only posting that, you're going to have a very low engagement rate. You're going to have no one commenting. You're going to have, and that's what people are looking for, is like which brands are actually relevant. And if they see like a lot of comments, a lot of likes, and they're going to be like, okay, this brand must be relevant because everyone's loving this brand. And so when you start focusing on unique content, and again, posting with a purpose and providing value, and also engaging with your audience and showing your personality, and again, working on your brand identity and then disseminating that through your social media, you're going to have much more success. So and another thing is you want to post, what you post on social media should be unique to social media rather than purpose from other channels, and it must stand out from the other accounts. So I'm going to actually show you just, this will be we'll try to wrap it up here. So some social media guidelines, and I'm going to show you some examples of like effective social media. Uh, Again, I can share this document with you because there's a lot of interesting stuff, but I'm not going to go over all the photography stuff because we've already kind of gone over some of it. But these are examples of staging examples of like, how do you stage jewelry to make it fit within the right frame, and how do you make it look good? And then uh, these are some product shots. So like I said, if you're trying to determine what kind of photography equipment should I buy, this is all shot with cell phones and they look great. So there's some examples of videos here that you can click on once I send over this PDF to you. Um, and these are examples of comparing styles, stones, and sizes. And you can see the engagement and likes on some of these posts it's because it's like engaging to the audience. You're asking people, which one do you like, A, B, or C, or D, or which one do you like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? And then people are, commenting with the things that they like. And you can even do promotional things. Hey, we're going to give away this piece. Whoever comments and shares this post will pick somebody. And then you're going to have a lot of comments and a lot of engagement if you could do things like this. And again, here's some more examples of some great posts. So these are some great accounts to reference. One of our clients, Lauren B, True Gem, Erstwhile, one of my other clients, and then Ring Concierge, TD Diamonds. And also some YouTube resources for ways to create beautiful jewelry photography, some other things here. So again, I'll share this document with you and then wrap up the rest of the information about e-commerce for jewelers. Email marketing, I've talked about it a little bit already, but email marketing is extremely important, especially for e-commerce and dialing in your e-commerce strategy. So, okay, another request for the slides. Thank you, Dale. And so it can be very profitable, but the thing is, like, I have a client that they just get email lists from bridal shows, but they get like, a 5% open rate. But what happens is when you're actually getting people to subscribe and they're opting in because they want an incentive or they've already purchased from you, you're going to have a lot better success with those people because they opted in. So also, when you have email automation running, it's specific to what they're how they're interacting on your website. So it's more catered to them. It's personalized email marketing. So it's not just all about promo. It's also suggesting other items that they might like based on their browsing history on your website. So that's why it's important to use automation tools. And so some of the best practices with your general email promotions, testing your emails. Really, you want to test different email layouts and stuff like that because it leads to a higher ROI. The most effective strategies for email marketing are subscriber segmentation. It's super important. We actually just did a webinar last month about email segmentation, message personalization, and email automation campaigns. And like I said, email automation is personalized based on how users interact with the website. And it's really an important piece of marketing automation and your holistic digital marketing funnel. Okay, yeah, Alec, yeah, I got that, sure, no problem. Send emails to customers based on their site behavior, provide valuable content to your customers. Marketing calendar should sprinkle in promotions among newsletters and educational content, offer discounted items. One important piece of the puzzle when it comes to email marketing is understanding the different stages of the buyer's journey and digital marketing in general. A lot of people aren't ready to purchase right away because they're in the awareness stage. They determine, hey, I want to get engaged. So they're at that awareness stage. And so that's why it's so important to have a nurturing strategy. You have top of the funnel content, middle of the funnel content, and bottom of the funnel content to get them to purchase at the right times. If you just start promoting, buy from me all the time, and you're gonna like turn people off if they're not ready to buy. So it's important to create different content for each stage of the buyer's journey. Um, we also want to make sure that you're getting customer reviews and testimonials, like I said, because it actually helps with your customer retention. Creating loyalty programs online really will help incentivize repeat purchases. So those are great things. There's a lot of apps on Shopify that have loyalty programs. So if you haven't really done anything with loyalty programs, it's really important piece of e-commerce digital marketing. And obviously exceptional customer service and most of you jewelry store owners have exceptional customer service. Otherwise you won't be in business this long. So, and then I want to analyze your performance. So you want to analyze your KPIs. So like, how many visitors you're getting, return visitors, bounce rates, conversion rates, average order value, your cost, your customer acquisition costs, all those things you want to make sure you are keeping an eye on, so you know how to invest properly. And hey, this campaign we ran cost us $3,000. It generated 2 sales. The sales were only $300 a piece. Maybe you're not getting a positive return on your investment, unless you're also considering your lifetime value and they're going to purchase from you again. So it's important to understand your KPIs, what's most important for you to measure. And then obviously leverage some of the most important tools like Google Analytics, Search Console, Facebook and Instagram Insights, and then email marketing tools for subscriber growth, open rates, etc. Heat map tools like Hotjar, Crazy Egg, so you can visualize where users are clicking and moving. I just recommend if you do use one of these, you only have it on for a couple days because it slows your website down significantly, but it can give you a lot of insights as far as how people are interacting on your website, engaging with your website. Then you just want to continuously improve as you look at the data. So this is an example of heat mapping. You can see kind of where most of the clicks are happening, and so you can see like this really colorful part here on the left side is where most people are clicking. Okay, so to summarize, jewelry businesses can have success selling online, but all facets of digital marketing really need to be taken seriously, or there will be holes in your marketing funnel, and your success may only be marginal. So utilize all best practices and all channels to ensure success. And again, I know I've run through a lot of things really quickly, so I'd be happy to have a call with you or to just provide these slides to you, whatever your preference is. But yeah, all these factors are really important. So if you don't have the time or patience to set this up, find a partner you trust, someone that's like a champion for your business, because e-commerce is really only going to become more and more important. It cannot really be overlooked anymore. My contact info is here. 800-373-4373 is our main number. I'm at extension 115, or you could just email me, Anthony@gemfind.com. If you have questions, I'd be happy to give you a consultation and do an analysis. Thank you guys so much. I'll keep this up here. Thank you for your time. Looks like I've got 15 to 20 people asking for slides, so be happy to provide that to you. So I'll go ahead and send that over, but if you like to email me, you can as well to get the slides or to have a consultation. Thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure, and we'll see you the first Thursday of next month. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.